Here's a man who's recorded 21 albums with the band Kiss, has sold 70 million records. And you would think that a guy like that would want to slow down a little bit after 15 years of being at the top of rock and roll. But he doesn't. And here's what he has to say about people who do.
Anybody that sits on top of his palace after you've worked, all your life to get it and says, it's lonely at the top, it's just miserable, they're full of it. It's the best.
All right, here he is, Gene Simmons. There you go.
That is a great band. Everybody should know that.
Isn't that a nice band? We're very happy to have you because I know you don't appear on television very much.
That's true.
Yeah. Why?
I just think the size of it bothers me. I mean, if you guys were doing a TV show and it was in a movie theater, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because then I could fit.
Because you like it big, don't you?
I do. Everything should be big. I mean, nothing. You really shouldn't settle for anything. Everything should be too much food and too much good times and too many pretty girls. You know what that's like.
Ah, okay. Now, I want to know about this, the quote that we had of you, people who kind of sit on their duffs when they get to the top. You aren't like that. Now, are you a driven man, do you think?
I think there's probably something wrong with every entertainer that gets up on stage. There's probably a loose screw someplace at me. And, I mean, I think it's really important for everybody to follow their dreams. Mine are really not limited to small stuff. I don't just want to stand on a street corner with a raincoat and say, hey, lady, look. That's not enough. There's just no thrill like getting up in front of an audience and having them love you and then wanting all the beautiful women, it's the same stuff that you got.
Well, see that here you bring it up, beautiful women. Gene, you're legendary. Legendary in that there's this rumor going around that Gene Simmons has been with 3,000 women.
You're going to believe all that stuff?
Well, that's what I want to know. Is that true? Because even if it's half true, we want to make a statue.
See, the truth is... Of what?
3,000 women. Yeah, well, it'll be up to Ron.
The truth is that a long time ago, 15 years ago, we've been touring and recording for 15 years. And a long time ago, I decided instead of banging my head against the wall at nights, I'd do something constructive. So I took up photography. The indoor sport variety. Oh. I don't do any outdoor sports, I'm sorry.
No, his wall.
So
your picture.
Will you stop with this? He's making this whole thing up. Now you have photos, you have...
well, I mean, that was my way of keeping sane. I think everybody's got to channel all that, energy and...
But you're talking about photos of women?
Oh, yes. Friends, preferably instead of enemies. And I think, at some point, none of us are going to stay young, whatever. At some point, all this stuff is going to disappear. And I want to be able to look back and say, yeah, that's where I was in 1974, and that's where I was in 75. And that's what...
But you open yourself up, I would think, for some really bizarre incident. Does anything stick out in your mind of a groupie or anything that happened to come backstage that turned too weird for you? Or?
Oh, yeah. Every night of the week, in fact, twice a night, crazy things would happen. In fact, I remember once in Indianapolis, a beautiful girl came to the door. It was late at night. I had to get up the next morning for a 6 a.m. I had to get up at 6 a.m. to catch a 9 o'clock flight, and this knock on the door. I looked through the people. There's a beautiful girl over there, and I'm saying, okay, I guess I won't sleep tonight. Come on in, sweetheart. What's your name? It doesn't matter. Shut up, and let's read a book. Anyway, to make a long story short, I know you want to get to the dirt. Don't skip the stuff. Yeah, I know. Let's just get... She comes in, and we become fast friends. I don't remember her name. It didn't really matter. And she, after we get through swapping spit, we discuss the very social significance of the panel graphic art form. And then she says, and then I tell her, look, I've got to get up tomorrow morning. It's been sweet. It's been swell. I'll see you next year. She says, before I go, can I do something for you? I'm going, great, this is going to be a show. So I prop myself up in bed, going, great, it's going to be a show. So she gets up, naked, of course, beautiful girl, and with one of those slave bracelets on. She takes her little valise, gets in front of the bed, unfolds it, takes out this beautiful Persian carpet, you know, that she rolls up.
She brought a Persian carpet?
Well, you know, like one of those mini kind, the kind that you sweep, you know.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
One of those little baby ones. And she takes it and opens up a thing, gets little candles and, you know, lights them and stuff. I'm going, great, she's going to do like a little belly dance because she's naked in front of the bed. Now she all of a sudden goes into this dark stuff. You are my master, tell me what to do. And I'm going, oh my God.
Tell me what to do, oh master.
Yeah, baby, look, I'll see you. I got to get out of here. And she says, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. I go, well, look, just leave. She said, no, once I leave, what should I do? I say, go up to 2311. The road crew is up there, and become friends with them. The next day, I don't know what happened to her, but the next day the road crew came up and said, hey man, can I get you a glass of water? Is that, you know, fine, you know. So I guess she became friends with everybody.
Yeah. Now I have to ask you, if you have this, well, let's say 1,500. Let's say 15.
Let's say 2,500.
All right, let's say 2,500. Gene, 25. Okay, let's say 2,500. But you have also been with Cher, with Diana Ross, Shannon Tweed. I mean, when you look at this, look at me trying to explain this. When, let's say Diana Ross wants to become involved with Gene Simmons, there's a lot of other baggage. I mean, they kind of have to know that this is the kind of guy you are, that you're not a settle down kind of guy. Is that right?
And, you know, just to get serious for a second, I think what you've got to do with anybody, whether they're your friends, your enemies, your lover, is to be upfront about anything. And I think before you start a relationship, you've got to sit down and say, look, this is who I am, and the first thing I do is say, look, this is my closet, here's what's going on, here's who I am, here's what I've done. So that later on you can't say, hey, you know, you double-crossed me, you said something that wasn't so. I think you owe anybody honesty. And then if they can accept that, you're in!
All right. I want you to stay here because we're going to bring one of your partners out, Paul Stanley, also from Kiss, after this commercial. So please stay with us, folks.
It's no ordinary.
It was about 16 years ago that Gene and our next guest got together and formed the rock group Kiss. He's been a sex object himself for 15 years and has a reputation as being one of the baddest boys in rock and roll. Here's a look.
What do you think parents think about you?
Do I care?
Please welcome from Kiss, Paul Stanley. You're excited.
I'm excited. Counting backstage, has been 4,000 women.
What's this?
Counting backstage in the dressing room, 4,000 women.
No.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you just beat Gene then. What is it? We saw the 4 women in that deal. What was that we were looking at? That clip.
It beats working, that's for sure.
I guess. This lifestyle, this whole. I think a lot of us live vicariously through you guys and this road style that you have. Is it really like that, Paul? I mean, is it as wild out there as portrayed to be?
How do you describe Disneyland? I mean, it's everything it's cracked up to be. I mean, it's a one-way ticket, and the rides just keep coming.
How about trashing hotel rooms? Were you guys ever famous for doing that?
Nah, we don't.
Gene says, no, I don't do that.
No, we don't trash hotel rooms. We're too busy to do that.
You're too busy doing what?
Well, we're usually testing the box springs on the bed.
Now, are we to believe the press releases that come out and all the things that are said about this band?
Well, when we write them, we try to make them as
What hazards are? Now, we talked a little bit with Gene. What hazards are there about being in your position?
Gee, I don't know.
Nothing about it.
Cramps from smiling? I don't know. It's It's been great. You know, either you get Charlie Horse from running after women, or Charlie Horse from having them chase you. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, which happens. Now, that's such a reversal. In the real world, we men have to chase the women.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's not that way if you're a rock and roll star,
That's
is it?
right.
You bet.
No.
They come after you.
It's too bad there are so many people in our line of work, and we really do righteous work, don't we? You know, who downplay and badmouth rock and roll. It's really the best thing. I mean, I wish this lifestyle on anybody. It's the best thing to do what you do, and you know, have beautiful women want you and get paid for it too. It's the best.
It's really great. I mean, when you have, you know, these fickle artists and people who want to be left alone and talk about the misery of being famous, I think we should do them a favor and stop buying their records and make them happy.
Yeah, then they wouldn't be famous. Yeah, was good. What happened when Kiss started taking the makeup off and went natural? Now, did fans rebel, or now they thought, oh, that's what Paul looks like?
Well, Gene, tell us about that.
I think unless you want to be a band that stands still, I think you've got to move on. And sometimes you have to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forward. You know, you can only pull the same rabbit out of the same hat for so many years. And we decided, instead of playing it safe, that we'd go forward. You know, what's interesting is the same people who said, hey, you're going to wear makeup? You're going to wear makeup in a group? Are you out of your minds? Were the same people who said you're going to take the makeup off?
Yeah,
Are you out of your mind? You know, you can't.
When we first got a record deal, there were people who were saying, you know, it's a great record, but why don't you just look like a bunch of human beings, which was very difficult for us to do in the first place. But then when we decided to take it off, they were going, no, you can't take it off because it'll be the end of the band. But it was really, I mean, you get a certain kind of vindication because we've continued since we took the makeup off, and it's monkey business as usual. I mean, it's been great.
Yeah, which I think is the appeal of Kiss. It's just really a lot of fun to see you guys work.
I think the whole idea in what we do is that we don't really care what anybody says. We follow our own gut instincts, and if you're with us, great, and if you're not,
too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah.
There's always, I mean, even Christmas has got its Scrooges, so.
Yeah, that's right. We have a deal here. It's called The Decline of Western Civilization, Part 2, The Metal Years. And that's something, a movie that you guys or something, we have a clip from this.
Yeah, we were just interviewed for it about 6 months ago. We had no idea what the movie was going to be, but a friend of ours, Penelope Spears, who's the director, you're welcome for mentioning your name on TV, you know, asked us, Speareis.
That's right.
Asked us to do the interview, and we were more than glad to, because we knew that some of the element in the movie, the documentary, was going to be negative. Hey, look, we're fine. We haven't died. We're here.
There's nothing.
50
Yeah, and
years
after 70 million records, you have saved a penny or two, and doesn't.
Yeah,
what the hell with it.
We're not hurting.
All right, well, let's take a look at the clip.
Girls, all sizes, all shapes, big, small, short, tall, nice.
Jesus Christ, when we toured with Kiss, they were like monsters, man. Lines up of chicks outside their rooms every night, you know. What's the matter with me? I'm trying to pull the stragglers, you know.
Do you often see girls take off their shirts at your concerts?
Yeah. It's our form of salute. We go, hello, and they go, hello.
This girl with really long hair sits on the bar stool by the side of us, and we don't know her. And suddenly she goes bang and falls on the floor.
So she says, I'll only stay a while. All right. So we become fast friends. We swap spit.
He gets her by the legs, and I get her by the shoulders. And I got her by the shoulders, and I get so far up with her, and she starts wobbling and screaming. Oh, what's the matter with her?
So I don't know how to get rid of this girl. She says, what do you want of me?
And I suddenly realized I had my foot on her hair.
I said, go up to the 23rd floor where the road crew is and take care of them.
And she's like doing an epileptic fit. And I thought, my God.
And I don't know what happened, but the next day the road crew was very friendly.
Have you ever said to yourself, I could fall in love with this groupie?
Have I ever
said to yourself, I could fall in love with this groupie? Yeah.
Probably not, because I'd have to think that somebody in every other band had also.
Paul Stanley said one time that if you're going to make it be successful, you got to get rid of your women.
This is the way you want to live, then you can live like this.
And we can safely say that since this is a documentary film, that you actually do live like this.
As often as I can.
All right, we're going to take a break. Please, you guys stay right here. And we'll be back with more of The Late Show and Dr. Joyce Brothers after this. Stay with us.